Welcome to the BISP solution. So, our today's topic is sale of non-current asset in statement of financial position. What does non-current asset means? Non-current assets are a company's long-term investments that are not easily converted into cash or are not expected to become cash within an accounting year. Examples of non-current asset includes investment, intellectual property, real estate, and equipment. It includes both basically tangible, intangible assets. Okay. Non-current asset means those assets whose benefits will be realized over more than 1 year and cannot easily be converted into cash. These are recorded on the balance sheet at an acquisition cost. In AS 105, that is Indian Accounting Standard 105, it prescribes a norm for the disclosure of the non-current assets which are held for sale and discontinued operations. Under the accounting norms, an asset that does not meet the definition of a current asset is a non-current asset. Now, what is disposal of non-current asset? When a non-current asset is sold, there is likely to be profit or loss on the disposal. Correct. When we sell an asset, either there will be profit or there will be loss. What is this? This is the difference between the net sale price of the asset and its net book value at the time of the disposal. Okay. If sale proceeds exceeds the net book value, then it's a profit on disposal. And if sale proceed is less than net book value, it's a loss on disposal. That means suppose the book value of the asset is 8,000 and we sell that asset at 16,000, so 8,000 is the profit on disposal. Okay, that is sale proceed is 16,000, it is greater than the 8,000, that is the book value of the asset, so there is a profit, and vice versa will be the case. Okay, disposal account, what's that? It's a gain or loss account that appears in the income statement and in which is recorded the difference between the disposal proceeds and the net carrying amount of the fixed asset being disposed of. Means disposal account is a gain or a loss account which is shown in the income statement. And what is recorded in that? It is the difference between the net carrying value and the sale proceed directly goes in the disposal account. Disposal account is basically a dumping account. Okay, here all these figures will be transferred in the disposal account. Okay, first we'll transfer the asset historical cost to the disposal account, then we'll transfer the accumulated depreciation to the disposal account, then whatever amount which we receive from the sale of asset that will be dumped in the disposal account. After that, we'll close that disposal account to the profit and loss on sale of the asset. That means whatever will be the balance, it will be either the gain or the loss on the sale of the asset. Now, what's the accounting treatment? First, we'll remove the cost of the asset because suppose we have sell the asset. So first we have to remove the cost of the asset. Okay, so this non-current asset has a debit balance. To remove the effect of that, we have to do the credit. Okay, so what will be the debit? Disposal account. The effect, every effect will be going in the disposal account. So credit will be non-current asset, debit will be disposal account. Now we have to remove the accumulated depreciation charge to the till date. So accumulated depreciation has credit balance. To remove the effect, we will do the debit. Accumulated depreciation, so what will be the credit? Disposal account. Again, this effect will go into the disposal account. Account for sales proceed. Now, what is the cash or whatever will be received by us on selling the asset will be debited here. Okay, because cash account is debited because we are receiving cash. Okay, its asset is increasing. So, different credit will be the disposal account. Okay, now all will be going in the disposal account, and but the disposal account will not be tallied or balanced. So for balancing that, balance of the disposal account to find the profit or loss, what will be the balance? It will be either the profit on sale of disposal or profit on sale of asset or loss on sale of asset. Okay, now the profit on disposal, what will be the profit? It is shown in the statement of the profit and loss as a sundry income, and loss is shown as an expense. Okay, for example, machine bought at a cost 60,000 is disposed after 3 years at 20,000. Okay, suppose today I bought the machine at 60,000. For after using for 3 years, I'll sell it at 20,000. Use the straight line method of depreciation. Expected useful life is 4 years and there is no scrap value. Okay, so cost is 60. We'll see the 3 years depreciation. First, we'll calculate the 1 year depreciation, that is 60,000. There is no scrap value, so minus 0. It will useful life is 4 years, so 60,000 minus 0 divided by 4, it comes to 15,000 as a depreciation for 1 year. We will use it for 3 years, and then we'll sell it at 20,000. So 3 years depreciation will be 45,000. So after 3 years, my book value will be 15,000. Okay, 60 minus 45, it comes to 15. This 15,000 book value, now I'm selling it at 20,000. So there is a 5,000 gain on disposal. Okay, so how much is the cash which I'll receive on sale is 20,000. Okay, because I'm selling it at 20,000, so I'll receive 20,000. To machine account credit, it will be credited by 60,000 only. Okay, because it's the cost of the asset. Remaining, I know this is the book value, net book value today after charging depreciation. So either you credit machine account by 15,000, or you can do that 60,000 credit and debit by 45,000 accumulated depreciation. Okay, the effect will be 15,000 credit only. In both ways, you can pass the entry. Whatever will be the difference, it is the gain in disposal 5,000. Now, let us see this scenario through Excel example. Balance sheet is given as on 31st December 2020. There are two companies, Huge and Small Limited. Huge Limited is the purchaser and Small Limited is the subsidiary. Their separate balance sheet items are asset side inventories, trade receivables, cash and bank balance, equipment, investment in the subsidiary is 1 lakh, liability side share capital, retained earning pre and post is already given, and trade payables. Adjustment date on acquisition is on 1st January 2020. Balance sheet is 31st, 31st December, so there is no time adjustment. Okay. Purchase 70% shares. Huge Limited has purchased 70% shares in Small Limited. Huge Limited sold equipment to Small Limited for 10,000, while carrying value of it in books is 8,000. Okay, carrying value is 8,000 and Huge Limited has sold it at 10,000. Okay, so first we'll see the gain, which will it will arrive after selling the asset. So 10,000 is the selling amount of the equipment less book value 8,000. So 2,000 is the gain on the sale of the asset. Okay, so what will be the general entry? See, cash account debit, obviously I'll receive the 10,000. Okay, less to credit, what we'll do, to equipment account credit 8,000. Okay, because it is a book value, we'll remove it by book value only. So the balance will be the gain on sale of asset. Okay, so it has a credit balance, so 2,000. Okay, now what will be the effect? Cash will be increased by 10,000, equipment will be reduced by 8,000, and gain on sale, this will come in the revenue or profit and loss account, it will be increased by 2,000. Okay, this is the effect. Now we'll do the calculation of AOP. Retained earnings, pre and post, it is already being given in the balance sheet 24 and 10, and no other further adjustment is given. So we'll directly bifurcate this profit among holding and minority 70 and 30% into zero point 0.7. Okay, similarly with the post profit into 0.7, 30%. Okay, now we'll do the calculation of goodwill. Investment, investment amount is 1 lakh. Share capital is 50,000. Our share is 70%. Less pre-profits. Pre-profits are 16,800. So goodwill is 48,200. 48,200 goodwill asset side. Okay, 48,200. Now we'll do the calculation of NCI. Share capital was 50,000. Minority interest is 30%. 7,200 is pre-profit. 3,000 is post-profit. So 25,200 is the NCI. 25,200. Okay. It comes to the liability side. Now we'll do the calculation of retained earnings. Retained earnings of holding company. Retained earnings of holding company is 50,000. Okay. Share in post profit 7,000. This gain on sale of asset, it will also come here. Obviously, it will increase my profit and loss account. So total is 59,000. But see, Huge Limited has sold equipment to Small Limited and earned 2,000 profit. So it's an intra-group profit only, because when we do the consolidation, this profit will remain in the group itself. Okay, so we have to remove the effect of the intercompany balances or unrealized profit balance, right? So if this use limited has sold to some outside priority, then we'll not remove the balance of this profit, but it has sold goods to the its subsidiary only. So while doing the consolidation, all the figures are combined, so it will lead to double effect. So for we have to remove this effect. Okay, so this 2000 in gain, that is unrealized profit, will be removed from the retained earnings. So the balance will be 57,000, and this 2000 will be removed from the equipment also. Okay, now we'll calculate the value of the equipment. Equipment value is 14,000. I am assuming that this transaction has this effect has not been taken in the equipment, okay, which is shown in the balance sheet. So book value is 8,000. 14,000 less book value because the equipment is sold, see credit balance, so I have to reduce it by the book value less 8,000. So we are remained with the 6,000 equipment value, okay, less unrealized profit. Okay, this profit will be removed from the equipment value also, so less 2,000. We are left with 4,000. Now we'll prepare the consolidated balance sheet. 50,000 inventory plus 30,000. Similarly with the trade receivable, 30,000 plus 20,000. Cash and bank, 40,000 plus 36,000 plus 10,000, which we have earned on selling of the asset. Equipment, 20,000 plus 4,000, we have just done the calculation. Okay, goodwill we have already seen, 48,200. Okay, investment amount we do not take in the consolidated balance sheet, so total of the asset side is 2,88,200. Share capital directly of the holding company comes. Retained earnings 57,000, we have already done the calculation, 57,000. Non-controlling interest also we have already seen, 25,200. And liability other is trade payable, so 50 plus 16,000. 2,88,200 is the liability side, okay, and 2,88,200 is the asset side. So our balance sheet is tallied. This is how we do the effect. We give the effect of the sale of non-current asset. Okay. If you have any further doubt, feel free to ask. Thank you.